What was your 7 p.m. moment? Like, what was that moment for you?
I think I had that moment when I was super young. You know what I mean? It's crazy because like I went on tour when I was 12 years old. And I went on the Fresh Fest when I was like 12. And I was just a dancer on the Fresh Fest. And I got an opportunity to open up the tour at 12. And then, you know, at 12 you got to get a tutor. You're supposed to get a tutor and go on tour, do your schoolwork on tour, and come back home and give the credit to the school board or whatever education. And when I came back to Atlanta, they didn't count my credits. They didn't take my grades. And they was just like, we can't do that. We never did this before. We don't really know how to do this. Atlanta wasn't really, they didn't have a bunch of kids that was doing what I was doing. So that was my 7 p.m. moment right there. Cause it was like, do I let them, like, do I go back and I get left back and I'm getting ready to do this? And I was just like, nah, I have fun doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep doing this, but I gotta figure it out so that, because I'm not gonna be able to go to school. So I ended up dropping out of school at like 6th grade. That was it for me. I tried to go back.
Can we just talk about how you just breezed past that real quick? Like, you was 12 years old.
Open it up.
You was 12 years old opening up at the Fresh Fest in Atlanta.
Yeah,
like, for folks who may not be familiar of how far your imprint on culture goes, like
I didn't know
deciding
that.
whether you got to drop out of the 6th grade to help shape the entire sound of not just a region but of a culture, like that's I think that's kind of insane, the sort of process, because I think when people bring you up, they just think of a lot of post 2000 stuff like Bow Wow, Mariah Carey, Usher. It's like, yo, it goes even further back than that. So like,
don't even play around.
And it was all, like I said, it's crazy because you come from Atlanta, you come from like New York or LA, they got child stars that's come out from the 70s. So they prepared for this. Atlanta, they didn't have no kid stars.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't no Tyler Perry in Atlanta, wasn't none of that in Atlanta at this point when I was 12. So what I was trying to do and what my parents was trying to do, they hadn't never heard of it. You know what I mean? So the school system, they just was like, nah, we not gonna do that. Either he gonna go back and do all the work over again, or he gonna get left back. And I was just like, left back.
Yeah.
And I honestly had to make this decision myself. Like, my mother was pushing me to go back to school. Let's just do what they want you to do. And I was just like, nah. But I knew if I said nah, I had to show and prove a reason why I'm saying nah, right? So then I had to like really, really like get focused. And that's when I started like digging more into hip hop, learning how to rap, went from dancing to just like every piece of being a B-boy, because I was just like determined to not have to go back to school. I knew I was dropping out.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was gonna end up at though, but I just knew that I wasn't trying to hear what they was trying to do to me.
But the fact that you bet on yourself at 12 years old,
that's insane.
That's nuts.
Whereas
that's nuts.
Most kids at 12 years old that drop out, they gone, left. They are somewhere totally different.
Yeah.
You dropped out and said, fuck it, I'm going right. I'm about to just put my all in. The fact that you had that wherewithal at 12 years old says a lot. And I think people should really take heed of that and understand and comprehend that, because that's very hard for a decision to be made by a 12-year-old, because your parents make those decisions for you at that time. So your parents are saying, no, you going back to school, and you like, nah.
Yeah.
Right.
Your mom probably looking at it like, nigga, what?
Right.
Nigga, why get your ass back to school? And you like, nah, I can't. I'm going to believe in myself. This is what I want to do. And if you're going to believe in me, then you got to believe in me. But
my question is, with that being said, at 12 years old, you had so much love for the culture that you would rather, substitute what everybody else is doing or what your parents think is right or whatever to just immerse yourself in that. Where did you get that love from, though?
I mean,
that nigga was a B-boy, man.
I don't know. I mean, it's crazy because Angie Martinez was asking me if God texts me, what would I say? Right. And I told her that I just say thank you, because I feel like I was just, you know what I mean? I feel like somebody was grabbing me and just putting me in, like,
this is your purpose.
This is what's gonna happen. Like, I was thinking about it, but it wasn't like I was like somebody was like really like guiding me. It was just like I wake up one morning and okay, now y'all telling me I'm left back.
Yeah.
I gotta figure this out. I'm not doing this, right? And it's like like I said, I actually really had to sit there and think about it myself because it was like my mother was saying you should do what they saying. My father was kind of like, well, let's figure it out, right? Because I mean, I'm sure we could have just kept pushing, and it could have probably went to court and all kind of craziness to be like, y'all trying to take my son out of school because we paid for a tutor, right? You know what I mean? I was actually out there doing the work. It wasn't like I was out there just playing around. I actually had a tutor. I did the hours and everything, but it just came to a point where I'm just like, this ain't making sense. Like, you know what I mean? And I think that's the one thing I will say is like something I would say God, something about it just told me like, as a young person, we always believe that just because we young, we can't. Our minds are not developed. Our minds are developed. You know what I mean? Our minds are developed. Like, oh, y'all playing basketball, you knew what you wanted to do when you was
12
you know what I
years
mean?
old,
You start seeing that hype come, you know, you like, I can get to the league.
But that's,
you know what I mean?
that's what makes what you did so much more unique. Because at least at 12 years old, there's an example of like, all right, if I take this seriously, I can go to the NBA straight out the league or something like that. There wasn't really anything like that for you at that age. Like hip hop was still very much in its infant stage. Like it's still, you talked about just mastering the elements of that. And that might be a foreign language to a lot of people listening, but the elements of breakdancing, graffiti, rapping, like all that
hip-hop.
type of stuff, like that's.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like not to cut you off, like in the this was 80, this was like the late 80s.
Yeah.
So in hip hop, it was a thing called B-boy for anybody out there that don't understand.
Right.
And a B-boy was a person who had mastered all skills of hip hop, right? They wanted to be graffiti writers, they wanted to be breakdancers, they wanted to rap, they wanted to DJ, they wanted to do every piece.
Yeah.
That's what I became. I became like the ultimate B-boy where I was just like trying to like put my hands on all parts of hip hop, right? So that I could at least fall into one of these spaces, right? And I think that if you, that's why I tell all the kids and younger artists that I work with, like, listen, y'all young, but don't use being young as an excuse to not use your mind.
Yeah.
Like you can use your mind, right? And I also saw I had older friends, right? I also had an older homeboy, and he worked at McDonald's, right? And I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, that's not, that just ain't in my cards, right?
Yeah.
And when you make that statement, you know, I got a 14-year-old daughter now that be saying that like she ain't gonna get no job, and I'm like, okay, listen, you making this statement, I'm not taking care of you for the rest of your life, so you got to figure it out. If you making that statement, you got to find something that you love, and go do it, and make sure that it pay off, so you don't have to do what you see somebody else doing. And I don't think that's really hard. But we make it seem like it's hard because we're young, so we use being young as a crutch for us not to use our mind.
We use that as a big excuse, you know what I mean? Almost like a barrier. It's like, oh, we want to coddle our children, but like, I mean, yeah, you should to a certain extent, but if you have greatness within you, you know what I mean, you might be holding them back a little bit. Some of the greatest we've ever seen start at a young age, whatever it is, and a lot of times we see it.
And I also noticed that when you're young, people give you stuff, right? And you don't have no responsibility. This is another thing I noticed about being young. I noticed that I ain't had no responsibility. I had to pay no bills. I could do what I was doing. I live with my mom. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's when people should take the most advantage of their life. Because as soon as you hit 21, 19, life turn into something else. It'd be a whole different ball game. You got to pay the bills. You got to get turned into something else. So I started just like really, really like focusing on this little period of time, right? And I think, and that's how I went into my music. Like when my man Steve brought me Bow Wow, it was like he was 11. That space, I'm like, I can't put Bow Wow when he get 14. He got to get it right now, or it ain't gonna work. Right? 11, 12, let's get it right now. You got it. Either you got it right now, or you want to be 14, 15. That's when you're gonna start your window closing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's how I felt.
When you say get it right now, you mean as far as like pushing him as a major artist on some like
him as a person. Like you gotta get it.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like you as an artist, you gotta get this right now. Like, you know what I mean? I start putting that pressure on him, like, yo, listen, I'm getting ready to go to the club. I wrote these songs, right? I wrote 2 songs tonight. You gonna learn the song or you not? Right? And it was a couple of times he was just like, man, I ain't. You know what I mean? I want to play video games. Right. Okay, cool. You want to play video games? Video games ain't gonna get you to where you think that you keep talking about what you want, right? Because as a kid, we play this That's my car game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We want all the fly shit, right? I can curse, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
You can-
We want all the
Shit
fly
ain't
shit.
censored.
I'm just saying. We want all the fly shit as a kid. We be talking about that's my car. We be, you know what I mean? We collect Hot Wheels. We be all about all the stuff that we want when we get older. But we don't ever really like just hone in and be like, I'm getting it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's even like when you look at this streaming, like that's
I
what
was just about
that's
to
what
say.
people keep. That's what seemed why everybody's so amazed with. I'm like, these little guys is paying attention.
Yeah.
That's all they doing. They see it. They see what they've been doing damn near their whole life, and somebody tell them they can get paid for it. And all you got to do is take it serious.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, and
That's
you
it.
see how many lives that changed. We just talked about that in the last episode about how incredible you talk about youth entertainers and I guess the equivalent of what being a Bow Wow or a JD at that age is being a streamer now. And now they put out their own music because they have this captive audience of people that have followed them for so long.
But
that-
they gotta pay attention to the business though.
Yeah, that's a
Right?
fact.
Yeah.
You got to
Yep.
understand what the business of it is in order for you to get to that space that you're talking about, right? Because it's crazy. I seen that list, and the top 10 streamers, I don't even know them niggas.
Yeah. I mean,
You know what I mean? The ones that we hear about, they below
they're
that top
mostly,
10.
that's a fact.
it's
You know what I'm
usually
saying?
white streamers, you know.
You get over there to Japan and China,
Yeah,
though.
like, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. So it's just focus, man. I just feel like, you know, when you younger, that's what something that people ask me, like, do I have any advice? That's my advice to all the young people out there. Take your life serious right now.